have been released. But we were given a life sentence where we had to sit at Rhiannon's bedside for 3 days watching Rhiannon diminish and hold her hand as her life support was switched off. How many more women, children or even men have to keep going through this? Sexual assaults, rapes and even murdered. This needs to stop. This sham of a government needs to start looking after the British citizens of this country. We have enough for the people of our own country committing these crimes. We don't need any more of these illegal invaders. Shut the borders, detain them and send them back to whichever country they are from. Stop giving them a home in a hotel or a HMO on benefit money. Keir Starmer, where do I even begin to discuss this abhorrent excuse of a leader of our country? He has failed us. He has failed my daughter, Rhiannon. I believe she would still be alive today if this disgusting excuse of a man had not been in control. This isn't about race or colour for us as a family. This is about us wanting to stop these crimes happening. I am currently working on a Rhiannon's law to be put in place. So if this government is to keep allowing these illegal invaders into our country, we fight to detain, medical checks, ID checks, tagged and stopped and allowing them to walk our streets freely. We are going to leave a legacy in Rhiannon's name for her son and other children going through the same loss as he is. Her little boy wants to be a brain doctor when he grows up, so we can help people like his mum. No 6-year-old child should ever be thinking this way. We as a family have set up a GoFundMe page for the children left behind, rhiannonskywhite.co.uk, for children who may have lost their mothers this way, the way Rhiannon's little boy has. Or mothers who lost their children in similar circumstances I have. Every single penny donated will go to helping and supporting these families. So to help us ensure this is possible, please can we ask that you donate anything you're able to. And if you're financially unable to contribute, we ask that you please share her story. Everything we do as a family is for Rhiannon, her little boy and the children left behind. The reason I don't want this monster's name mentioned is because he's not worthy. This is Rhiannon's story. We will continue to say her name, Rhiannon Sky White. Thank you.
We'll make sure we share that website with all of you. Make sure you support them. That murder did not have to happen. She shouldn't be dead. They don't care. That's the reality. They do not care. How many more of our daughters have to be taken? As we leave that, I want to go. What a brave family. What a brave family. None of us can even imagine what they've gone through. Imagine what they've gone through. That's the real cost. The reality of open border mass immigration. That's the reality. I want to talk to you about the darkest stain in British history, when an invading army of men were brought into this nation and raped and pillaged their way through it, and the full acceptance of that place and our police force. When we look, if you've watched our investigation, when I started talking about this first in 2004, it's what we call grooming. We're talking about a rape jihad. I want to give you some numbers for the world that's listening. And you know what? These crimes would never have been allowed to happen if we were a proud, strong nation. Because men would never have allowed it to happen in their towns and cities. We lost who we were. We become disorganised. We lost our spirit. We lost our identity. And men took advantage of our communities and that we hold the dearest to us, our daughters and our women. I want to talk about Telford. The reason I concentrated on Telford in my grooming gang investigation, if you haven't watched the documentaries, we have a very brave lady here today who led the march. Nicole is here from episode 1. A brave lady who led the way in highlighting these crimes. In Telford, there's only 1,000 Muslim men in Telford. 1,000 Muslim men. That town, they raped, these are the police's numbers. 1,000 children were raped and 5 were murdered. 20% of the Muslim men in that town were identified by the police as being involved in the rapes. That's one town. One small town that no one had really been to or heard of, that only has a 1.7% Muslim population. What do you think it's like in Birmingham? What do you think it's like in Luton? The other town you've heard of is what? Rotherham. Rotherham only has 3.7% Muslim population. There's none there. And there's none there, but yet they raped 1,400 children. I don't want you to think about the numbers. I want you to think about the children. Now, they thought they'd bring community cohesion up for these crimes. If 1,400 children were raped in the small town of Rotherham, and each one of those children has 4 family members, that means it's directly affected in that town by the rape of the Islamic community on a... One lady has led the face of the survivors of this scandal. Let's introduce that.
This was happening all over our town. Majority of them were Pakistani and Muslim men.
7 men have been charged with more than 40 offences in connection with a major investigation into child sexual exploitation in Bristol.
I just turned 14, he was 24, so he's 10 years older than me. He would pick me up from school, I'd have my school uniform. This was happening all over our town. Majority of them were Pakistani and Muslim men.
Now this inquiry is about truth, exposure and accountability. I'll be leading the inquiry myself, and I'm proud to be working.
He was about 10 and 11 years old, and the authorities were turning up and bringing
Guys,
him
what
back.
are we doing? Just stand still.
Good afternoon, everybody. I've come here today to talk about the gravest injustices of British history. Throughout the United Kingdom, early as the 1950s, children had been groomed, tortured, raped, trafficked, impregnated, criminalised and murdered. Families had been destroyed and ripped apart by gangs of men and women. Children were raped by dogs. They were poured petrol on, forced to dig their own graves. Scriptures of the Quran were read whilst gangs of men raped them. They called for Lucifer while they placed children in microwaves, ovens and freezers. Now that is only one part of the story. Professionals that were paid to protect did absolutely nothing. They didn't just do nothing, they were involved. Police officers held cock knives where groups of police officers raped children and then handed them back to the gangs of men, while social services turned a blind eye. Politicians were also involved and children were sacrificed for votes. Jahangir Akhtar was a Labour politician. He made a no prosecution deal with rapist Arshad Hussain and PC Hassan Ali. They was making deals with rapists. And let's not forget how the minister, Jess, resigned this week, and very rightly so. They said no to a national inquiry. This was happening under a Labour government and a Tory government. The Tories don't get off lightly either. Now people, the government are bringing in third worlders. And people have asked me, Sammy, why aren't you talking... No more. Labour politicians have threatened and tried to sue me. They've tried having me arrested for telling you all about what's been going in our country. Raja Maya to Keir Starmer, to Jahangir Akhtar, to all the politicians and the police officers that are trying to stop people like me from exposing this, you will not stop us. MP Rupert Lowe has started his inquiry. Our report will be published in a couple of months, and we are going straight for the government. We're going to name them, we're going to shame them, and we're going to prosecute them, and they're not going to stop us. Now, I'm fortunate enough to be able to stand here today, and I'm fortunate enough to say that I sent my rapist to prison for 35 years. There are thousands of children in this country that have had no justice, no platform and no voice. I just want to mention, before we go into a minute's silence, Lucy Lowe, Laura Wilson and Jodie Sheeran. They're not here today. So when we go into that moment of silence, please think of them and keep them close to your hearts. And I just want to acknowledge every single victim in this country, not just victims to the gangs, but to the victims that were abused by the church and the priests.
Exactly.
The children in care homes, by family members, by online. All the victims, I want you to know that this wasn't your fault. You're not to blame, and the state will be held to account. Let's start the 1 minute silence.
I'll tell you what. Andy's going to
It's a minute silence.
Shut up!
Fucking disrespectful.
He said it was
What the fuck is wrong with these people?
You made slips. How fucking angry you are, your slips.
Thank you everyone and have a great day.
Let's have some more patriotic music, yeah? Come on, Brian.